What's up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm back with a quick little rant, you guys. I want to get my 2 cents on this whole reason or issue that modern women are having as to why men are not approaching them. And I've talked about this several times, but we keep seeing videos of modern Bonnet crew members out here complaining about men not approaching them, and then they're acting oblivious as to if they don't have no idea, they can't fathom the reason why men are not approaching them in 2025. So I've talked about this several times before, and I want to reiterate my position on this, my opinions on it, my thoughts on it, because hopefully some woman or some women who are wondering and are curious as to why men are not approaching, maybe this can enlighten you and give you, shed a little light on your confusion as to how you've gotten to this place to where when you go out, no man is approaching you. When you going out to the bars, no men are buying drinks. They're not doing all these things. They're not chasing you. They're not hounding behind you. They're not running behind you. They're not even looking your way. I'm going to shed a little, info on why this could be happening, because a lot of these educated women just seem so thrown off, like, oh my God, they have no idea why. But you should know why, because this is what a lot of women, and if it wasn't you in particular, then you need to go and talk to your Bonnet crew members, ask them why they've been pushing this agenda that they don't need a man and that men ain't this, and you don't want them to approach us and leave us alone. Because if this is not the idea of all of you, if this is only some of you pushing this narrative and the other ones don't agree with that, y'all need to speak out, and y'all need to have a meeting with the other Bonnet Crew Society members to tell them, hey, stop doing that, because you're pushing men away and you want a man. So the reason, for those who may have been in the back and were not paying attention and not listening to what your Bonnet Crew members were saying, a lot of them have pushed men away. They have told men they don't want them. They told them they don't need them in some capacity. They've told men that they can do it all bad all by themselves. That y'all are the men are too dusty. They don't make enough money. They're not tall enough. They're not fit enough. The 3-6 six-pack abs, 6 figures, 6 feet tall. So what you've done is you've eliminated a bunch of men, because the majority of men are under 6 feet. So what you've told these men is that you don't want them, they're not good enough for you, and they could kick rocks, and you can go over and get you some other race of man because you don't need them, and you make your own money. So what's the point? So now that you've put that message out there, the men are responding to what y'all have said. Well, maybe some of the sisterhood Bonnet crew members have said, and now it's looking bad for all of the Bonnet crew members. Everybody is going to suffer, especially if you want a family. If you're one of the ones who don't have kids, because majority of women have kids these days. But if you don't have kids and you want a husband and you want a family, it's going to be difficult if you have the mentality of your Bonnet Crew Society members, but you still want a man. So on top of that, you're going to have to change your mentality, and you're going to have to separate yourself from the Bonnet Crew members. I know it's going to be hard. I know it's going to be difficult, because you don't want to, cause an issue with them, because it can get ugly. But press ahead, press on, forge ahead. Don't let them scare you, because they all talk, but they're not going to like you, and you're going to know it. But ignore that and go after what you want, because if you don't, you're going to be in the same boat as them, and that's where they want you. If you are one of those sisterhood Bonnet crew members of the society that wants to separate yourself from the pack, you're going to have to do that. You're going to have to make it known that you want a man, that you need a man, that you want to build with a man, and you want a family, and you're not all about the money, and you don't hate men. Because the Bonnet crew sisterhood society, baby, they're staunch on wanting everybody that's single with kids to put out this idea that they don't really need a man or want a man, and they all want you to be single with them. If you meet a man and talk about marriage and try to build a relationship, they're not going to like you. They're going to ostracize you. So you got to know what's most important to you. Is the Bonnet crew sisterhood of society where you want to be for the rest of your life? Or do you want something more? Do you want to build a family with a man that wants to be a father? Because like 50-something% of men are single and childless. So there are a lot of men out there without any kids that would love a family, but you got to be willing to be with these men and not look at them as dusties and bottom of the barrel and all of that if they are good men. So the reason why these men aren't approaching is because y'all told them not to. You told them you don't need you. You told them you were too good for them to approach you. You told them that they were beneath you. So if you're saying that to a bunch of men, why are you surprised that they're not approaching? This is where I say a lot of women think men are just dumb, because you'll say all of that, but you still want them to chase you for you to keep rejecting them. And then once again, the expectations from a lot of these women is not something I think these men should be chasing anyway. Because if they're chasing you, they're essentially chasing to pay your bills. They're chasing to get extra bills and to drain their wallets. That's what they're paying for, because there's nothing else you're gonna get from them. They don't want to cook. They don't want to clean. They don't want to be submissive. They don't want to cooperate. They want a donor. They want a sponsor. They want somebody who's going to fully take care of them. They don't want to put in. They're tired. They're burnt out because they did that with Pookie and Ray Ray and gave them 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kids and no commitment, no nothing, because they didn't require it. But it's somehow Pookie's fault because they didn't require marriage. They didn't require commitment. They just wanted the D and he was good at it. And you kept going back. And now you got these babies and now it's all his fault. So they feel like they put in their all with him, and with you, they refuse to do that anymore. But the expectations are still for you to provide and give them the world that they never had. So that would be your position as the man with these modern women. And most men are saying, no, hell to the no. We don't want to do that. We don't want to sign up for that. We want something more. And if we can't get it, we're not going to settle. Or, and that's just going to be what it's going to be. So as much as you hear women saying they're not going to settle, the men are saying the same thing. The only difference is women don't want the relationship per se, but they want your finances. They want what you can provide. They don't want to bring anything to the table, but they need you to bring everything to the table because they're tired of paying bills. They're tired of doing it by themselves, but they don't really want the commitment in a relationship on their part. They don't want to do what's necessary to build a healthy, stable relationship because that's too much work. But they just want you to come with your wallets wide open so that they can get what they need. And when they get what they need, it's on to the next. So they're not trying to give their all because they don't think that they can, and frankly they're tired. But they want you. They expect you to do it. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about what you want or don't want. It's about do what I tell you to do. And if you don't want to do that, then kick rocks. That's how they feel. That's why men are walking away. They're tired of the unrealistic expectations. They're not approaching because they don't want to pay your bills. They don't want to deal with your attitude. They don't want to deal with your entitlements. They don't want to deal with anything with women who act that way. You're modern, aggressive. You're the man asking all these questions. These men don't have to do that. And until women realize what's going on for real, it's only going to get worse from here. You're not going to be able to get men to bail you out because y'all didn't expose y'all head in a most horrible way possible, in my opinion. Y'all really have just video after video of how to finesse men, how to take advantage of men. Like, what? These men would be stupid as hell to go and run behind somebody who's telling them how to finesse them. I wouldn't run to that either. I would go in the opposite direction to try to find something better or nothing at all. So listen, y'all, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell to be notified when I upload new content. Share and like the video, you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Chime in, y'all. I want to hear your thoughts, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.